Hey guys, it's Eric with Tilted K Homestead, and we are back for another episode of January's Cooking for Men. Every week in January, I'm cooking a different meal that I usually cook and enjoy cooking. Simple meals, anybody can make it. Make it for a family, and just make it for a bachelor, doesn't really matter. Next week, we're going to be making sausage ratatouille, and I'll give you the ingredients for that real quick. You're going to want 2 pounds of sweet or hot Italian sausage. It's your preference. A half a pound of green beans. You're going to want 2 medium green peppers, a large onion. It calls for shallots chopped, but you can use them or not use them. It's your preference. You need 2 garlic cloves. You need some butter, some olive oil. Now this recipe is calling for zucchini, but we are in January here in New England, and zucchini will be hard to come by fresh. So you can substitute for this ingredient anything you want. You can use Swiss chard, you can use cabbage, you could use broccoli, you could use anything you want in that position. Then we need 5 plum tomatoes. We need some sugar, some salt, some pepper, some crushed red pepper flakes, some allspice, minced parsley, and then you serve this over rice. It's a one-pan meal. It's a medley kind of thing. It's really good. I've made this 3-4 times now. It's a lot of ingredients, but it's super duper easy, and that's what we're going to be making next week. But this week, we're making bacon-covered meatloaf. So let me get that ready for you, and we'll get that started. Okay, guys, I've washed my hands. I'm ready to make this. Let me get this other camera going for you. There you go. You can see our ground beef here. I've got 2 pounds of ground beef. Okay, and in that we are going to put a half a cup of milk right in there. And we're going to put 2 eggs in. Oh, that was messy, wasn't it? Did you guys see me do that? Look at that. I got a peel in there. That's awfully messy, isn't it? Let's see if we can do better with the second one. Oh, that's much better. Okay. Now, also in there, we want 1 small onion. Let me make sure you're seeing that. Yep, 1 small onion. Chopped up. And we're going to get that all in. Okay. And then in there, we have our spices. Let's see if you can see those spices. Those are the spices, guys. And those spices are 2 teaspoons of dried mustard, 3 teaspoons of paprika, 1 teaspoon of salt, 3/4 of a teaspoon of dried thyme, 2 teaspoons of basil, 2 teaspoons of black pepper, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Let me show that to you again. That's that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to mix this all together. Just like that. And we're going to pour that all in. And then half a cup to a cup of breadcrumbs. You can use whatever kind of breadcrumbs you want. I use Italian breadcrumbs. You can use whatever you want to do. Now here's the part that most people don't like. You're going to have to get your hands dirty. So you want to mix this all together. And really, you can try and do this with a spoon, but I find that this is about the best way to do it. And get it all mixed in right. Alright, so I'm going to get this all mixed up, and when I get done with that, I will come back and show you the next procedure. Okay guys, as you can see up there, that I've got it all mixed up. It's all mixed together. So let me get my tray. So I have a cookie sheet covered with tin foil. I'm going to flop this out on there, and I'm just going to make my meatloaf shape. Something just like that, right? Okay. Now, what I need to do is transfer that to a rack. So what I have here is a rack from my smoker. And you can see that meatloaf is going to sit on the rack without falling off. So what we're going to do, I'm going to put it like this on here. You're going to take it like this. You're going to flip it over. Take this pan off. Put this on the pan. Mold this up just the way we want it. Just like that. Okay, can you guys see that? Okay, we are in good shape. Now, we got to put our bacon on it. Okay, so I got my bacon. Now this is just store-bought bacon that I have. And you're just going to take your bacon and break it off into one strip. You're just going to wrap it around just like that. Just tuck it underneath. Perfect. It's pretty easy, pretty simple meal to make. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this wrapped up in bacon, and we'll come back in 1 second. All right, that's it. It's all wrapped up. It's got a pound of bacon on it. Now, the reason why it is up on this rack like this is because the grease and the fat from the bacon and from the ground beef is going to drip. And you don't want your meatloaf sitting in that fat. You don't want it really sitting in it. So this gives it a way to drip down into this lower pan. The bacon actually keeps a lot of the moisture in it, so although it does drip a lot of the fat out, it doesn't get overly too dry. So it comes out really nice. Now, this is a rack out of our smoker. You can use any kind of baking rack. You could use the cast iron grill from your outdoor grill if you wanted. Over a pan. I have it over a cookie sheet with tin foil, but you can put that over a baking pan. Any kind of pan that'll catch the grease. So you want to cook this in the oven for about an hour at 350 degrees. I would stab it with a thermometer and make sure it's cooked in the center to 165 degrees, which is what I'm going to do with this. So we got the oven preheated. We're going to get this in the oven. I have one of these little meat thermometers that I will check it in about an hour, see if it's done, and we'll take a look at it when it comes out of the oven. Come up and get on this, and follow this all the way down and in. Pull back, get the door. Alright guys, that's it. What do you think? Looks pretty good. Top couple of pieces are nice and crispy. Looks good. We're going to get that plated up. We're going to show you what that looks like. Okay, here it is, all plated up. As you can see, I got some meatloaf. We got some Brussels sprouts and sauteed onions and some mashed potatoes. That is bacon wrapped meatloaf, guys. That's pretty simple. It's super easy. Hang on, let me get my list here. So again, 2 to 3 pounds of ground beef, 2 eggs, chopped onion, half a cup of milk, breadcrumbs, 3/4 to a cup, 2 teaspoons of dried mustard, 3 teaspoons of paprika, 1 teaspoon salt, 3/4 of a teaspoon of thyme, 2 teaspoons of basil, 2 teaspoons of black pepper, 2 teaspoons of garlic and onion powder, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and bacon. Now, of course, if you don't have all those spices, you can get one of those meatloaf packs. You can get them at the grocery store. Just pick one of those up. It should say on it whether it's for a pound or 2 pounds of ground beef. If it calls for 1 packet per pound, get 2. And just mix it in there where I mixed the spices that I actually had on hand. That's it. I would put the recipe down below, but we don't read recipes, do we, guys? We don't read directions. We don't read recipes. You need to know what's in it? Just click rewind. That's it. We're going to be doing the sausage ratatouille next week. I've made that 2-3 times. That's really good too. Stay tuned for that. And we hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this meal. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.